The dense forest loomed around the lone man, its towering trees, casting long, eerie shadows that danced in the flickering light of his flashlight. The air was thick with the sounds of the night, the rustling of leaves, the hooting of owls, and the distant howling of wolves. The man, lost and alone, felt a surge of fear grip his heart. He had been hiking in the woods earlier that day, enjoying the peace and tranquility of nature. But as the sun began to set, he had strayed from the marked trail, lured by the allure of the unexplored. Now, with darkness enveloping him, he realized his grave mistake. His flashlight, his only beacon of hope, seemed to cast a circle of darkness rather than light. The beam pierced through the thick foliage, revealing gnarled branches and twisted roots that reached out like skeletal fingers. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sent a jolt of fear through his body. As he stumbled through the undergrowth, the man's mind conjured up images of the dangers that lurked in the darkness. He thought of wild animals, their eyes glowing in the dark, their fangs bared. He thought of unseen predators lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Panic began to rise in his chest, constricting his throat and making it difficult to breathe. He quickened his pace, his flashlight beam darting frantically from side to side. But the forest seemed to stretch on endlessly, an impenetrable maze of trees and shadows. Suddenly, he heard a nose behind him. He froze, his heart pounding in his ears. He spun around, his flashlight beam searching the darkness, but there was nothing there, just the endless expanse of the forest. He let out a sigh of relief, but the fear did not leave him. He knew that he was not alone in the woods. Something was out there, watching him, waiting for him. He pressed on, his legs growing weary, his hope dwindling. He was just about to give in to despair when he saw it, a faint glimmer of light in the distance. With renewed energy, he stumbled towards the light, his heart pounding with anticipation. As he drew closer, he could make out the shape of a cabin, its windows glowing warmly. He let out a cry of relief and ran towards the cabin, his flashlight beam cutting through the darkness like a beacon. As he reached the door, he pounded on it with his fists, his voice hoarse from shouting. The door creaked open, revealing an old man with a long, white beard. The man's eyes widened in surprise when he saw the disheveled figure standing before him. "Come in," the old man said, ushering the man into the cabin. "You look like you could use some rest." The man gratefully accepted the old man's offer and sank into a chair by the fire. The old man gave him a mug of hot tea, and the man sipped it gratefully, the warmth spreading through his body. As he sat there, listening to the crackling of the fire and the old man's kind words, the man felt the fear and the anxiety slowly melt away. He was safe now. He was out of the darkness. He never learned the old man's name, but he would never forget his kindness, and he would never forget the night he was lost in the woods, the night he faced his fears and found his way back to the light. The end.